Hey everyone, alright, so it's now time to get into the Neon Demon. Right, okay, this is a movie that I had heard about quite some time ago. Looking on Nicholas Refn's Internet Movie Database page, boom, see this movie, the Neon Demon, set to come out in 2016. Of course, Nic Refn writing and directing it. I was instantly sold because look, I really like Drive, loved Only God Forgives. Boom. Okay, let's see the Neon Demon. Anyway, I went to see it yesterday. I'd heard really good things about it actually. From the guys at Collider. Brad Jones even, which was surprising because he really he liked Drive, loved Drive. He did. Really had a violent reaction to Only God Forgives. He wasn't having any of that, so I was surprised to hear that he really dug Neon Demon. So I went into this, expecting to like it. I'd heard there was sort of a consensus, I think, that if you liked Only God Forgives, you'd like this. So, I was going in with really expecting to dig this movie. Anyway, in short, I did. Got really weirded out by it. Really disturbing in parts, but I really liked it. Essentially, the story centers around this young girl called Jessie, played by Ellie Fanning, I think that's right. Anyway, yeah, she's a young girl. She goes out to LA wanting to be a model. Anyway, she really hits the ground running. She starts, she gets a foot in the door straight away. She's picking up all these doing these big photo shoots. She's gonna be the closing. She's going to close this really prestigious catwalk that they're gonna do. And so she finds success really quickly, and she becomes very, very popular. Now, that's all good and well, but there are, of course, a lot of other women out in LA, aspiring to be models, and they've been out there for some time. They've been out there for a lot longer than she has, and they've struggled. They've struggled to get their foot in the door. Now they see this young girl come along, Jessie, and she just really, she's just, whatever she goes for, what she gets. So this is where, these other girls start to get very jealous. You get that gets thrown around quite a few times in the film. Jessie gets accused, of screwing her way to the top. Now, so the jealousy starts, and then things start to get very, very sinister. If you've seen Drive, and especially Only God Forgives, you know that Nic Refn has. He can do dark, and he can do disturbing, and he can do graphic, like no one else can. And yeah, this movie gets disturbing. It really does. Yeah, it gets into some dark places. This very, very much like Only God Forgives. Lot of symbolism. Has that similar vibe. It feels like an acid trip when you watch it. Much like Only God Forgives, though. Even though I think it's getting better reviews than what Only God Forgives got. This movie like Only God Forgives, this is not for everyone. This is not a mainstream film. It's got a very select audience, I think. So yeah, if you, I mean, I don't want, I don't want to sound like a cinema snob. I don't want to try and sound as though I'm part of some intellectual elite, because I'm not. But what I will say is, if you're someone who really doesn't like artistic films, films with symbolism, films that are a slow burn. If you're someone like who really prefers like the popcorn flicks, like easy watches, I stay away from this one, man. This won't do it for you. And if you don't like films that get dark and disturbing, because the thing about Nicholas Winding Refn, he's the kind of guy, he makes the films he wants to make, and often, he's not afraid of putting stuff that will shock people, offend people, disturb people. Basically, this film, as I've said, it gets very dark. Like I say, there's nudity in it, there's sexual violence in it, there's necrophilia in it, there's cannibalism in it, there's it's really, it gets into a lot of dark areas in this, more so than what Only God Forgives, I think. In many ways this is a more disturbing film than what Only God Forgives was. But at the same time, hey, just because a film's disturbing, that doesn't mean it's not good. And this film, I think, was very, very good. Really enjoyed it. It's one of those films that, you need to watch more than once, like Only God Forgives, because there's a lot of like symbolism in there, to get to fully comprehend the film, to fully understand the film. I think this is one of those that will benefit from a repeat viewing, like Only God Forgives. This was very, very abstract film. But I think intended as kind of a social commentary on what life in LA is like. It's a very dog eat dog, almost cannibalistic culture. People, you have to be cutthroat to succeed out there. You have to be willing to step on other people. Because you see in this film, how harsh, like the modelling industry can be. So hey, there are people who screw the way at the top. There are people that people get screwed over, and you have there's no hardship in believing the jealousy that can manifest itself, and basically you've got Jessie, and then I think it's Jenna Malone who plays the other character in this. She plays like a makeup artist who becomes very close friends with Jessie, and then Jenna Malone, she knows these other two girls who also are in the modelling industry. Now these two girls, the two that become very, very jealous of Jessie, and what they end up doing at the end of the film, the cannibalism is maybe too far, but it is too far, that's more symbolic than anything. But, what they do, you can believe that this kind of thing goes on out there. It's a very, very... This is a movie that packs a punch. This is a movie that's got guts. This is a movie it's not gonna water stuff down, This is a movie that's got something to say and it's not afraid of saying it. But yeah, so if you like Nic Refn, you like his films, you like this, you know. So if you, you know, you say if you like Drive, Drive is probably Nic Refn's most accessible film. So it's probably best to say if you like Only God Forgives, you know, you're gonna, in all likelihood, like this. But as Brad Jones has demonstrated, even if you didn't like Only God Forgives, you might be able to get something from the Neon Demon. Yeah, but I like this. I'll definitely be seeing it again. I'll probably get this on Blu-ray. Because like I say, got Only God Forgives on Blu-ray, got Drive on DVD, but that's such a stunning visual. Well, that's Nic Refn, you know, all his films are visually stunning. This one, of course, no exception, but Drive, that's something. I know I've got the DVD, I'll have to get that on Blu-ray, man. I think that warrants a Blu-ray. But yeah, this one, The Neon Demon, again, visually stunning. Absolutely gorgeous film. Really well acted. Like I say, well shot, cinematography is gorgeous. You know, it's one of those that, like I say, it's a beautiful film throughout, but it has certain moments in the film that are just so gorgeous to look at. Like at the end, there's this scene in in a salon, but the interior, I mean, oh my god, I'm going to talk about interior decorating. There's the way the design, the dress, the set with these like whites and blues, it was just very, very beautiful. And the locations, you know, shot around LA looked stunning. You know, you know, you getting to experience that upper class society. You know, the best, those who have the best of everything, you know, go to the best restaurants, go to the best salons. But then at the same time, you get to see some samples of the dregs of the society, like Jessie, the character, where she's staying in this rundown apartment. Oh, by the way, some of you may know Keanu Reeves is in this movie. That's how he factors in. He plays Jessie's really creepy landlord in the film. Plays it fantastically well. Keanu Reeves, he's only in, doesn't have much screen time. He's only in a couple of scenes, but he plays this really creepy landlord who's you know, it's hinted at very strongly that he's a paedophile, but Keanu Reeves, he does really good in this. He's really, yeah, he's scary in this. Yeah, but it's a beautiful film. And like I say, yeah, really, really has some good moments in it. It gets really dark. It has some moments where it kind of drifts into horror, this film. You know, because of how dark it gets. But yeah, really good. You know, it's got I think, a really good story. So it's not. I mean, yeah, there's probably some people who think of it as more style over substance, but I honestly didn't have a problem with it. So, visually stunning. Cliff Martinez, who has become very much Nic Refn's go-to guy, you know, for a music score, absolutely knocks it out of the park with this one. Yeah, Cliff Martinez music score, Nic Refn's beautiful visuals, like I say, art design, lighting, cinematography. It's just this, Brad Jones said it, this movie is a treat, I think, for the right audience. Like I say, money wise, I don't, Nic Refn has a knack for keeping his budgets low. This, I don't think it's going to be a particularly high grossing film, because again, it's a very niche film. You know, it's got a very select audience. When I went to see it at Cineworld, it was playing in one of the smaller theatres, so again, a very select audience. Of course, the R rating, you know, nice to go see a film at the cinema that's got an 18 certificate. How often does that happen now? But yeah, Nic Refn is the kind of guy, he makes the films that he wants to make, you know, and he does them very well, I think. You know, if you've been a fan of Nic Refn up until this point, like I say, go see this film. If you liked Only God Forgives, go see this film. But of course, if you're more of a casual, you know, if you like your films, you know, I'm sorry I'm repeating what I said earlier, but you know, if you kind of like, you like the easy watch films, you know, the popcorn flicks, you know, this really won't be for you. But yeah, that brings us to a close. Really liked the film. Really did. I'll be getting it on Blu-ray when it comes out. I'll be getting the soundtrack. Cliff Martinez, you beautiful man. This might be his best score. I mean, yeah, what he did for Drive was solid. Loved what he did for Only God Forgives, and this, oh man. So if I was to, I mean, they are the only three Nic Refn movies I've seen up until this point: Drive, Only God Forgives, and Neon Demon. If I was to rank them in my order of preference, I think Only God Forgives is still at the top. I think it is. So I'd probably go Only God Forgives, Neon Demon, and then Drive. I'm gonna have to see Neon Demon again though. Really am. Yeah. Again, but what I will say as well, this film, just over 2 hours, if I remember rightly, it has a good pace to it, I think. It doesn't really drag, or at least it didn't for me. So I'll say that as well. I think in terms of the runtime, it doesn't drag, I don't think. It's got a good pace with it, you know, which, nice. So yeah, that pretty much wraps this up. I mean, I liked it, and if you're a Nic Refn fan, I think you'll like this as well. Cliff Martinez, what a guy. He knocked it way out of the park in this. So yeah, absolutely. Be getting this on Blu-ray. Be getting the, I tell you what, I might even push the button, getting the soundtrack on vinyl eventually. It was that good. But yeah, I really dug this movie. Elle Fanning, and like I said, I think I'm pronouncing that right. She did really good in this, because she starts off when, sorry, I'm wrapping it up and getting revved up again. There's a point in the film where she changes, because the start of the film, when she's just come to LA, she's still very sweet and innocent. You know, they use that expression, you know, like the deer caught in the headlights. That's her in the first half of the film. But then when she gets that job, being the finishing act on that catwalk, something happens, and they do it very artistically, but something happens at that point, right, where she changes. It's like something clicks, and she's no longer sweet and innocent anymore. She becomes, you know, something changes in it immediately after that, you know, and she becomes, it's difficult. You'll know it when you see it, but you know that it's kind of stereotypical, but you know that type of personality that you imagine. You know, someone who really loves themselves to become very cold. You know, it's like the humanity's just been, you know, sucked out of them. They're just like really empty shells, you know. Like I say, and she even says at that point, you know, I know I'm beautiful and that's all I need. You know, you know, everyone else wants to be like me. You know that everyone, you know, I'm natural beauty. You know, though you see these people, you know, who go through all this, have all this cosmetic surgery, you know, manufacture their own beauty, you know, they want to be like me, but even after going through all that surgery, you know, there'd still be a second-rate version of me. So she really she gets to the point where she becomes very, very dislikable. You know, so there's a really changes, it does a complete 180. So when we had this really likeable, sweet and innocent girl, she becomes instantly very dislikable, you know, very, very, very cold. And the way they did that was, yeah, you'll see it if you go watch the movie, and it was really effective, I thought. Yeah, really, really good. Like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing this movie again. But this was a treat. It was. So I'm really happy with it. So, and that pretty much brings us to a close. So thanks for sticking with me, everyone. Sorry this has been my reviews aren't neat and tidy. I'm sorry they're not. You know, I go off the cuff, don't go by any sort of script, but you know, I like to keep that natural feel to it. But thank you for sticking with me. If you were debating whether to go see this film, maybe you'd seen it advertised, you were curious, I hope this has been of some use to you. If you've seen the film already, and we're looking to compare notes, I hope you've agreed with some of the points that I've made. But yeah, thank you for sticking with me. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this helpful, and I shall see you all next time. And if you go to the film, if you go to see the film, you may be weirded out, but try to enjoy it, because it really is a very, very well done piece of work. And with that, I'm going to sign off, and thank you all once again for watching. Thanks everyone, and I shall see you all next time. Thank you.